This meeting is being recorded by the CCP, Matt. Welcome. Market Vitals, the stream, marketvitals.io, the website, Mistrade, Matt Davio, the sidekick, HFR from the floor.
Down five already.
The down fat five. Ass. You know, Matt, I tweeted yesterday some body shaming, and I want to be honest about it. I tweeted that Governor Pritzker could maybe shave some calories in that budget for everybody's well-being, including his own. And I only say that because I, too, am a fucking fat ass, and I'm working on it. I'm paleo. I'm pissing ketones. Look out, Matt. There's a whole...
Be nice to yourself. Be nice.
There's a whole new me waiting to be discovered, Matt. That's all I'm saying.
There always is.
Ketosis.
So they just halted AMC while we were preparing for the show, and it's now off $10 on the reopen. As I said, it'll be off 10 as soon as they open, and watch the fish fly out of the waters. Let's just take a quick look because it's happening as we speak, if you don't mind. And
Matt, it's fully gamified. This is
fully gamified. So look at this, $62. They halted it. I didn't see the reason. There was probably just the systems couldn't handle it. $28 billion market cap here, off 10, Bob, off 10. And it was, so $10 more. It was probably another $33 billion, which, by the way, is more than Tyson Foods, which we'll get to later, and talking about the beef shutdown in the show. But look at the craziness on this fucking action here. It's nuts. So they halted it at the top, and now it's only up 60% for the day. Okay, so. And I just really want to show this candle now because it is lit and it is going back down to $9 eventually. So enjoy the ride.
Unless, Matt, you get to actually the only way that valuation holds up is if they bring Feel Around to their movie theaters, a la Kentucky Fried Movie. I'm going way back now. If you've never seen Kentucky Fried Movie, please do yourself a favor and watch it, because theaters then had Feel Around. And by the way, it's got to be Feel Around, and they have to be pornographic movies. That's how they get to that valuation. Man, I wanted to point out before, because
halted again, by the way.
There's a lot of talk about guns and gun control, and we have friends that have that are into guns, and we have friends that have a gun under the pillow or under the mattress, for a home invasion. And I'm of the feeling that I'm more likely to shoot myself for sure if I had a gun for self-defense. But I just want to tell you that if you come into my room and you are uninvited, I do have a nice sword. And if I could wake myself up and that's what you're going to deal with.
Not stab your own big toe.
I'm not going to stab myself, and I'm going to swing for the fences. And wouldn't that be great just to take a dude's arm off?
I've got a 34 Louisville Slugger that is equally beneficial in such an environment. So close quarters, always available.
Always. All right, Matt. Let's get to the show. We're going to talk about beef first, Matt, and then we're going to actually jump around here because we're going to talk pop culture and other things. But first, beef. As we saw, there was another hack, JBS, monster international protein purveyor, 23% of the U.S. market. Tyson, 22%. Cargill, 18%.
We're talking about beef exclusively here. Beef.
This is the beef part. They do other things, right?
Right.
Most of these do all types of protein.
Right.
But let's just take a look at and they were down for a day. They for sure smeezed the cattle. But let's see. I know you have Tyson, and you wanted to talk about the Tyson stock.
Yeah, well, so, a couple of those names there, basically Tyson and JBS are kind of the bigger ones, and then the other is a little bit bigger. So everybody else kind of makes up what the market is there. Cargill's private. The top one, I believe, I'm not sure where they are. You might be able to look Mexican maybe, or Argentinian by the name, maybe South America. I'm not sure. again, you're from the meat space, so you'll have to guide me there. But let me just look at there is actually an ADR for the JBS, Bob, and it's JBSAY, excuse me, and very illiquid, trades about 100,000 shares. But you can see, yeah, it pulled off. It's interesting. Like, this is strange to me. I don't know. I wonder what the news was on April 21st that took it down, a solid 30%, 13 down to 10. And then it rallied, but I think there's been some hacking going on for some time, and now it's finally getting public is what it is. I think the hack probably happened back there in April, Bob, and now the public is being made more aware of it. And it's probably a follow-on hack that they continue to try to fix. But with that being said, this stock is bullish as it should be. Meat prices, as we've talked about here over the past year, are much higher than they've ever been on the beef side, right? So that shouldn't be a surprise.
Cattle, they're not at all-time highs, but for sure they've clawed their way back.
And then Tyson, which is again Tyson and AMC, by the way, are worth the same amount as far as the market is concerned today, which is shocking to me. Tyson makes chicken, beef, like you said, protein, parts. And if you've ever driven by a Tyson plant in Arkansas, it's one of the most god-awful smelling places you've ever, it's for like 60 miles. You go through the Ozarks, and you're like, no wonder I don't want to have a place in the Ozarks. It smells like fucking burnt. It's like gross. It's the most disgusting smell in my life. Anyways, I digress. Tyson right now trading 80.72, paying a nice dividend, by the way, 2.25% just about here, and trades about 800,000 shares a day, and very bullish chart even with all this news. It really hasn't moved much in the last couple of days. So this event so far, as far as the public stocks that I follow, doesn't really show too much. And I'd like to get your take on the kind of on the beef and the cattle futures. I'd like to have you run through that.
Yeah, and before we do that, let me when you see the hack, and believe me, it's my strength and my curse, and it's doubly, I don't know, it's exponentiated in today's world, right? When I see something, I'm like, that's weird, and it reminded me because cattle prices, everybody thought they were going to have a big rally here. And then all of a sudden cattle are off, almost a limit because of this hack, which lasted a day. And I was reminded of the last time there was a serious moment, and that was this unexplained, and this is from 2019, cattle futures plunge after fire shutters Tyson's plant. It was like, that's weird. How did the Greek fire happen in the Tyson plant? Oh, wow. It saved everybody that was short the cattle market. All these cattle producers that had their hedges on. Wow, they got to lift their hedges and they didn't lose any of their product. That's weird. I'm a cynic. What do you want me to tell you? I'm a cynic.
And
but let's look at the live cattle, and June is the front on that calendar. June is the weakest, generally the weakest. And so they've clawed it all back. But look at that little news candle here. Like if you were short, if you had hedges on and you were short, that's my cynical mind working. What a gift. What a gift. Gap them lower, take them nearly limit down. They might even have pinged a limit. Get all your hedges off. Oh, yeah, guess what? We fixed the hack. We're all good now. Okay, continue. Nothing to see here. Move along. Another nothing to see here. Move along moment. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I want to just get back to one other thing here. And that is that there's obviously incredible concentration in that beef industry. 5 companies controlling 80% of the market or so. And this is my Twitter friend, Gerald McDaniel. Food companies have abused their leverage over consumers for so long, it is now very lucrative to sell direct to consumers. This is the free market healing what government regulations caused in the first place. And, I responded to him amazingly when the Govy gets out of the way.
By the way, he's a farmer. So.
And the craft beer system, we've said this before on the show, craft beer is an incredibly accurate example of the government setting the table for big, centralized people, small numbers controlling vast markets. Right. All right, craft beer, it was you had to have a distributorship. The Wirtz family in Chicago, not only did they buy the Chicago Stadium, well, they got the distributorship out of Prohibition. That's the backstory. Should we question anything? Because humans have forever been so forthright and honest and doing things for everybody else, not themselves. So why should we question anything? When people don't question, it gets me very pessimistic. I don't know. I'm rambling now, Matt. Let's jump back to some pop culture.
Because I think it's a good point. I mean, you're basically saying follow the money, and sometimes it's a little complicated. It's a derivative sometimes, but if you put the puzzle pieces together, this stuff is very evident what's going on. Like as you said, you're basically creating a oligopoly situation, which is what people don't like about the capitalistic system, right? And yet the government is kind of placating and allowing this to happen. So that's your point. Like whether it's, and don't call it a Trump thing. It's an existing thing. It's right now. It's right in your face. It's a Biden thing. That's who's president. So it is this stuff is prevalent regardless of your politics. And it's all about lobbies and it's all about insider money. And to your point, we were talking about this, unless you know about this inside information, it's very difficult to trade these types of moves actively because you're not on the inside. And
absolutely,
as George Carlin likes to say, there's a very private club and you and I aren't in it, Bob, and pretty much 99.9% of us who have survived COVID also aren't in it. But we're in the survival camp, so we got that at least.
Well, power of the people should be too big to fail, shouldn't be a thing, right? Mm-hmm. And the government should, believe me, they dissuade.
And I do believe, by the way, in my personal humble opinion, that the banks should have been burnt down in 2008 and 2009 instead of Obama saving them all. But that's not what happened, and we're still dealing with it. And there's probably. We could have wiped out 8 zombies and to your point, we talk about this all the time, put the money locally and say, if you want to do business as a bank, you have to invest it locally, wherever you are, however you are, and let the banks kind of fight for it, All
right, man, I don't get this tweet. Can anyone explain the rationale for Jason Momoa's bodyguards? The dude was Carl Drago. I mean, he married a fire dragon queen. How does he need these 2 little guys? I don't know. I digress.
It doesn't make much sense.
A little pop culture. Daily Shroom asks, where would be the best place to do mushrooms? 420 Outdoors says Alaska for the Aurora. But, I found it interesting that you shared a poll on the mushroom side of things that most people don't think there's a ethical medical use for mushrooms. Talk about the age of ambiguity, because the science is pretty much on the side of mushrooms on this one.
Yeah, I've got a doctor who I was asking. He said, yeah, I've followed the studies and this stuff, and in a state like Oregon where it's legal now, he could actually, execute that type of strategy into an individual. He said that, was depressed or had PTSD and, fit the profile, right? Because these studies have shown, and we're not talking daily. Here's the thing about this as a therapeutic is it's not a repetitive medicine.
Well, exactly. That's why pharma hates it.
That's why pharma hates it, right?
What kind of annuity is that twice a year?
It's funny that you have, where's the ambiguity between doctors pushing pills versus, what is your fiduciary health duty as a doctor, like to give me the thing that's going to make me healthy and probably cost me less and work better. All those things have to be applied, I think, to the individual and for each individual case. And in that case, one instance in one therapy session that people are doing this with their doctors, they've proven almost like 90% that in most cases that PTSD is gone the next day. It's super effective. And then on the depression side, same thing. Like it basically, is a under therapy, right? They're doing therapy while under the effects of the therapeutic. That they're able to get to the root of where the pain is and what the people are dealing with. And to me, that's super powerful, right? I mean, how what more could you ask for when you have a world taking Xanax and antidepressives off the hook, and they don't work for everybody. Most of those.
Well, not only that, but it fits the business model, Matt. It's an annuity.
Yeah,
let's go.
Exactly.
You know,
so
I'll never forget watching my dad pop Tums, right? And then I started getting agita, as my passed away friend Danny Salerno would say, agita. And I thought to myself, wow, I guess I'm just going to chew on Tums for the rest of my life. But that was kind of the thought process that got me to say, wait a second, there's got to be something wrong with my diet. Like back in the day, people just didn't suffer their whole lives, right? There has to be something wrong here. Like, what did the caveman do with no Tums?
Right.
Anyway.
Probably started eating some more vegetables instead of the barbacoa.
Matt, back to my cynicism, and we can go on and on and on about, with the Fauci redacted emails, you don't get to see, like, what national security are they hiding? I don't know. I'm cynical, but this one caught my eye too. Democracy dies in stealth edits on 15-month-old headlines. Like, you literally get to rewrite what you said and then say, no, that's not what I said. Here's the headline. Well, wait a second. You changed the fucking headline. Right. And this one, Tom Cotton keeps repeating a coronavirus conspiracy theory that was already debunked. We debunked it 15 months ago. We debunked it. They went back and changed the headline to Tom Cotton keeps repeating a coronavirus fringe theory that scientists have disputed. Disputed and debunked are kind of different, right? A fringe theory and a conspiracy theory, they're kind of different. Hold on. Can't talk to him. I got an old Sal ringtone. Anyway, you ask me why I'm cynical. Well, go fuck yourself if you're not. That's what I got to say. Speaking of being cynical, M&M, Mars, Matt, Elon Musk, and we're going to get to him, is supposedly going to be the first person to take people to Mars. That's his game plan anyway. But you could take the train to Mars today. Did you know that?
I also think there are portals already available.
Well, no, all you got to do is get on the
just got to know where the portal
train is. From Chicago's Union Station. First stop is Mars. It's the Mars Candy Factory. They actually had their own stop. Gotcha. Anyway, we talked about Australia the other day. The Australian dollar's been on a moonshot. Australia, 25 and plus million people. That's it in the whole country. But they're pissed off now because they're finding out that their Snickers are made in China. I mean, what a bastardization of a Snicker bar. Give me a break. M&M Mars, come on, bring it back. Bring it back to Australia. Make the Snickers in Australia. That's my problem with globalization. Where you need Snickers to be made. Why can't Snickers be made in a suburb of Sydney? I don't get it.
Right.
I don't know. And let's go on to Elon.
Please. I love Elon.
And we're going to talk Tesla. And here's the tweet. And it says, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, what I love about, and this goes back to that other headline, Matt, is we don't live in just a zero-sum world that you get to rewrite history. And this guy has done an incredible job of documenting the history here. And this is it. I mean, the SEC first sued him and Tesla in 2018, and he has basically begun flipping the bird to the SEC ever since. We've talked about it on the show, how ridiculous it is that the guy can tweet and manipulate markets. And if the SEC can find some price discovery where he's benefiting from that, that's a big no-no. And my thought is that if Martha Stewart went to jail for
18,000
perjuring herself at over 46 grand.
Right.
What have we come to? Say whatever you want about the guy. He's a genius. That's great. But he's acting irresponsible in the public eye. And there's a new sheriff in town. And if Mr. Gensler, however the fuck you pronounce his name, I think he's going to strap on his boots, sharpen up his spurs. And I think Elon Musk is directly in their targets.
Well, and I will say to you, if you're spot on, Bob. But if something like that were to happen, if they brought a case, it's interesting because from a macro perspective, I think that's the type of event, whether it's Elon Musk or, the Winklevoss twins who made all their money from, investing in Facebook to start with. They somehow, they invented it. What was the whole, I don't remember the whole story, but anyways, those guys were in battle with, Zuck, and then Zuck finally paid them out, and now they're pumping. Now they're the, Twinklevoss, Gemini pump boys. I think the interesting thing about that possibly happening, Bob, is it brings down equities because of Elon Musk's participation with Tesla, and it also brings down all the crypto companies. So if something like that were to happen, it would be a very, and I believe that's why Elon Musk is pushing the envelope as far as he can, because he knows if he does that, Bob, or if they do that to him, they'll not only bring down him, but they'll hurt everybody in the same time. So he's like, go ahead. You want to play this game? The whole market.
Right, exactly. I see what you mean. He's playing like, you can't take me down. You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle it. You want to play it? It'll expose everybody else. And it's
right.
Everybody's got their hand out here, and they're all doing the same thing. And I've got a way to show all that, and whatever. I can just see that's what's going on behind the scenes too. There may be some negotiation and some deal being cut, maybe, but I don't think it'll ever go public, because it's the type of thing. So to counter your argument is, yeah, they could go after him. They might fine him $1 billion, which will be big news and hurt the market for a day, but it wouldn't be long-standing. It would blink and brush it off the next day, I think, too.
All right. Well, when I read all of that yesterday or this morning, my timeline is fractured. This is the weekly in Tesla, and I'd like to hear your opinion of it. We've been talking about this rollover for a while, but now recapturing lower momentum on the weekly. And if it closes the week back below this momentum level, 610, no bueno for the longer term chart on Tesla. What are your thoughts on the chart itself? Actual price discovery. Who gives a fuck what we each think? What is the chart telling you
on Tesla?
Yes.
Well, today it's not pretty. So maybe the Gensler office is watching us live. I don't know, or they knew we were pre-gaming talking about Tesla. But Tesla is 622 off to 603 today. Not looking pretty. Let me pull back a little bit. I haven't looked at it in a little bit, but yeah, we had a little bounce here, Bob, from that double bottom kind of at 550. And we bounced to 630. So, that's a significant bounce, $80 again, almost 20%. But right into the meat of the profile, and the profile is still very, very heavy. You're just basically making lower highs and lower lows that continues to kind of go on. I mean, if, trend line people, you got a basic trend line here that we're staying below with those two lines. You could draw another trend line, with that last high to the most recent high just a couple days ago. You're just fanning out, right? It's not, and then you have this profile chunk over here that's basically saying we're not going to really go back over 750. So sitting at 603 today, down another 3.5% after a considerable 3 or 4 day rally here, or whatever it was. What was it here on the 19th? So yeah, this was a 2-week rally that's now kind of run its course, and it seems to be, again, flipping back over. So I think there's some pressure out there. There's definitely some pressure out there on the company, and so it's putting, no matter how Elon thinks he's playing it, it's putting a lot of things at risk. And this stock has not done well the entire year. I mean, you got to remember, it was at basically $900 a share when we opened in 2021. So no matter how you look at this, the last 6 months have not been beneficial to Elon Musk with all his game. And to his credit, he's kind of stopped, at least in the last month, stopped chatting about Doge and all these other things. So I don't know. Maybe he's getting back to business.
Or maybe he knows the indictment. Wow, how about that word? The Elon Musk and indictment. Put those two things together. Yeah. See what happens to the market. Matt,
it's a high stakes poker game for sure, Bob. It's a high stakes poker game.
It's not even one last thing. Let's go to some crypto talk. And I don't have the audio. I'm just going to give you the audio. No, I'm not. I'm not even going to give you the audio. You just get to watch the awesome graphic of all those crypto coin artwork. And Matt, this was the tweet, because I think this encapsulates where we are in the Twitter sphere of cryptosphere. And it's from Tyler Twinklevoss. Welcome aboard. I am Lauren Gray. And Lauren Gray says, hi, besties. I've been learning a ton about cryptocurrency using Gemini. So we decided to partner up with them and add Tyler to help my fans get started on investing. Click to get free $10 in Bitcoin when you download the app and sign up. Love, Gemini partner. I couldn't puke hard enough. I mean, this is so this is where the Twinkies are going now. Apparently, big money isn't interested at these levels. And so Lauren Gray, who's learning a ton about cryptocurrency because they're teaching her, apparently.
With the free come on. And hey, I just saw the news wires hit, maybe she's getting $10 free trading, from Gemini, right? That's a great thing. And then I think, maybe she can join up with the White House and Anheuser-Busch, who just announced a beer giveaway to get your vaccine. Our friends at 10 Barrel, boo on this. You're part of that. So boo, boycott.
They'd have to give you a lot of Bud.
Cancel.
Bud for the Vic. A lot of Bud. Anyway, congratulations, Lauren, on I'm sure you're going to ring huge on this deal. It's all about the money always.
Well, I wonder what she is getting paid to ring.
Well, for sure. I guarantee you she's getting paid a little bit for every sign up. I mean, there's cost of acquisition.
She's getting paid to fucking model for him. Are you kidding me? She's a model.
Matt, there's cost of acquisition. Listen, Lauren, if you want to join us at marketvitals.io and get people to join the community and actually learn about risk and reward trading, things that are kind of like important about super fun investing. But anyway, love, let's let me share the screen because I need to correct myself, Matt. I was wrong yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
I had too many lines on the chart.
Okay.
And I said that Bitcoin, that weekly momentum level was 39,000. And I'm wrong on that. It's not. I'm going to bring up the chart. And I know we had an interaction with John Bollinger yesterday because he was saying that he thought that it's trying to make a bottom. And this is the beautiful thing about standard deviation modeling, Matt, is that I was wrong. That line is 43,000. 42,963 is the weekly momentum level. 42,963, Ray. And so we could actually have a $5,000 rally here, and it's still just going to that point where the bigger argument, the longer term players are going to argue. That's going to be an argument level, 43,000 in my standard deviation modeling. John, I agree. This looks like it's bottoming on the daily chart, right? But to me, there's a longer term story that needs to be exposed and unfolded. And let's just jump into the daily, as we've seen how collapsed this has become here, right, Matt? You could make an argument that this is the bracket now for the next $8,000. Let's call it 40,500.
For me, it's a little wider. It's 30 to 42.
Okay, so you got a $12,000 bracket.
Yeah.
We either go to 28 or we go back to 50.
No. It's if you break those levels. So if you break 42 and a half, you're going to go to 55. If you break 30, you're going to go to 18.
Let me just throw out another little bit of nuance here. And that is that
and 18, by the way, Bob, on the 18 on a daily is still the point of control. So
what is it?
18,000.
18,000.
18,000 and change, almost 19. Let's call it 19 is the point of control on a daily chart. Looking back,
well, why don't you share that? Because That 43,000. My line in the sand to confirm a reversal on the daily. It's got to take that out this week. Not only take it out, it's got to close back above 43,000 for me to get excited about being long Bitcoin.
Yeah, so I'm going to let me give you a 1 year look at Bitcoin. This is 1 year. And again, the point of control on the 1 year, Bob, is about 11,000. So 18,000 is this kind of next level. And again, if we break through 30,000 again, I mean, it's so easy to see this battle kind of brewing and growing. We're in the meat of the profile. The top of it happens to be 42.7. And we're at the middle of it, trading 38,000, but essentially here, 37.9. And it just, to me, it looks like, it's trying to work itself out. But even like on a simple momentum, like if you're just a momentum player, we're still below the 10 EMA on the daily. That won't be cleared today, won't be cleared tomorrow, won't be cleared probably through the end of the week. So I don't see any positivity still, even on the daily chart, on just a pure like first momentum sign for me. And again, you've got kind of a shrinking, we've been seeing a shrinking volume, a daily volume. The average true range has been going down, which means there's less interest and it's tightening for the next move. I don't know which way that next move is going to come. All we're kind of, I think we're in concurrence on here is that if we trade over 43 on a weekly, then we'll probably go and test that 55. If we don't, then we're probably going to, and then we need to break 30. Otherwise, it's just continued ping pong. Get out the paddles, sell the highs, buy the lows until that changes, right? Nothing's really changing. So it's, and this is the battle that's brewing. It's happening right in that same range. So once that resolves, Bob, and you can, and that's why you do need to fractal out. That's why you do need to do this. And if you look at the weekly, it's much uglier. So I don't even want to like throw that, but the longer term money is now in control of this market. And what do I mean by that? They're trading longer term timeframes. It's not, it's one way. When it's all up, it tends to be short term only. And then when it starts turning and falls like it did, gets cut in half. Now the long term money is in control because all these people are trapped. I mean, you've got 5 months of trapped traders, right? Anybody that bought in those prices above here is trapped. They're looking to get break even. They're looking to sell. They're looking to get out. And then you have shorts on top of it. So you have twice as many shorts as you do longs, basically, or some fraction, some ratio. But the point is, until that changes, and it's not, right now, the short money is in control. Bears are in control.
Bears. Let's talk Bears, Matt. Chicago Bears. Bear down. Chicago Bears. We'll never forget how you thrilled the nation with your T formation. Man, I got to tell you, after watching LeBron walk off the court, not even to watch the end of the loss, like take it like a man. You're a fucking billionaire. Like you can't stomach the loss. Give me a fucking break. It's unreal. It's unreal. Like if your kid did that, like left the floor because they were losing, you'd be like, dude, you're done. You're done playing the game. Obviously, you're not playing.
Yeah,
it's sportsmanship. Like take the loss like a man.
Yeah, it really was classless, and I only saw the very end. And
maybe he twisted his ankle. Maybe he
walked off. I saw him walk off. He was fine. He ran off.
Well, we don't know that. We have to reserve judgment because maybe he got hit with a piece of popcorn. Who knows?
Oh, right, the popcorn.
Dangerous. Anyway,
or a bottle, water bottle again, which the.
I don't think we got anything else here, Matt. We have, listen, I just want to reiterate that trading AMC right now is not trading. It's a high limit poker game. And if you don't have inside information, like where are the stops, where is that last short getting squeezed at, it's a very difficult trade for me. You are braver than I jumping into that fray. But anyway, I just find that so much in the trading world, right, Matt? Where,
but I always say that, like, if you're not comfortable and you don't understand it, stay the F away. It's simple. If it's not something you understand, then by all means, stay away. It's not, and that's from either side, long or short. Like it's a dangerous trade, and you better have quick movements and be able to move and give yourself room. And this thing could be 100 by the end of the day, Bob. Who knows? It could be 10 and it could be 100.
Right on. Round number bingo.
Round number bingo. We already hit the 50.
All right, Matt.
Yep.
You have a great day. Please join us at marketfunnels.io for a layer of discipline that you're not going to find in the can't miss newsletters and trading systems out there. We are a can miss organization, and we often do, but sometimes, lots of times, we don't miss. And for one thing that is for sure, Matt, honesty and truth. There are no sponsors for honesty and truth, and that's why we have no sponsors at marketvitals.io. Actively looking, though. Matt, thank you so much.
Thanks, Bob.